Hey guys, it is Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Sorry, my voice is like so hoarse right now, but I actually feel a lot better than I sound. So, hey, send us some positive vibes your way, especially if you need them out there today. Welcome to the video. Guys, we're going to talk about 2026 in Raid Shadow Legends. What better time now that we're closing the year of 2025? And let's be honest about 2025. We saw some controversy, some weird shop packs that are only available to some players, and then they were mistakenly too good of deals and they removed them. We saw some Sanguine Maria was nerfed after she was already added into the game. Some other weird glitches and bugs and communication issues. But with all that said, we saw some of the best content ever in Raid Shadow Legends, and that says a lot 7 years strong inside this game. We saw some of the most powerful fusions, some of the most popular IP collabs in Ninja Turtles, Alien vs. Predator, and more this year. We saw the return of event dungeons. We saw a major update in the Grim Forest that just went live right now. But most importantly, we saw the best update of all time in Raid Shadow Legends here in 2025. And that was, in my opinion, free gear removal. It changed everything about this game, and I absolutely love it. So I think you can make the argument Raid going into 2026 is coming off a really strong year. Even the balancing. I always complain about needing more balancing in this game, and I stand by that complaint. But after 2 years of balancing 2 champions a month, at least a lot of the legendaries are slowly but surely getting better, right? So what do I want for 2026? Well, for me, it all boils down to 3 things. Number 1 is we got to continue moving in the direction of respecting players' time, right? When you've been playing this game for any amount of time, right, especially after the first initial few months of this game, everything becomes a slog, and every player ends up dividing their time, not evenly, by the way, between mindlessly watching their game do things on auto battle and then actively playing the game. Now, I understand why Plarium probably likes having a high user, use time per day, hours and hours on end. I looked at my screen time, by the way. I was showing my fiance, and I was rocking like 17 hours of Raid on my phone alone on a given week. But I had to try to tell her immediately. I was like, nah, babe, you don't understand. I don't actually play all that time. My game's just running in the background because I have to stare at background battles for hours on end to do things in this game, right? So we need to continue to respect players' time. There's a lot to do in this game, and I love it. I love that there's so much to do in this game, right? It's really why this is one of the best games in the genre, but they need to continue to make strides at easing some of those times, right? One easy thing off the gate for me is instant battles on secret rooms in Doom Tower and on bosses in Doom Tower. Once you can 3-star a boss, give it whatever difficulty it may be, to me, you should be able to use instant battles. I don't need to wait, stare at a background, or actually stare at the run for 10 minutes plus every single day just to farm my Doom Tower bosses. There's so many other things in this game that we end up just staring at on auto battle. We've already mastered the content, and in a game this old with so much to do, once you've mastered the content, you ought to be able to instant battle. Instant, not background, but instant battle that content, similar to what they've done with Hydra Clan Boss and Demon Lord Clan Boss. I want to see them extend that to other areas of the game. But the big one is the background battles, because we know we're getting a lot in the terms of background battles coming to the game, right? Right now we have background battles, as I'm doing in the background right now on Dark Fae, but we also have background battles where we can't do anything. Well, the good news is we are going to be able to play Arena, PvP, while we engage in background battles, and that is coming early 2026. Now, I am thrilled at that. Personally, as a big PvP player, that's going to be a great benefit to me and to a lot of players out there, right? That being said, to me, that is not and can't be the final version of background battles in the game. Let me show you Etheria Restart really quickly. Now, Etheria Restart gets a lot of things wrong, frankly, right? But one of the things that gets right is this quality of life of background battles. I can go into a dungeon and I can farm it. It's called continuous battle. I can start it, and basically as soon as I click it one time, I can go boom, I can go battle, I can go background, moves it in the background, and then I can do not just arena, anything I want inside the game, as long as I'm not doing auto battles. So let's just say I was just farming this dungeon. You guys saw me on the highest difficulty, right? Let's say I want to make some progress in this dungeon on a different difficulty. I can go into a 1-match challenge to make up, to work on PvE as well. So to me, background battles And I can go auto if I want to, right? So now I'm actually doing two things at once, right? In PvE and in PvP. Once they master the background battle so you can do other activities in the game, it ought to be also extended beyond just the arena and into random PvE progression. So that's the one thing that I want to see change, is respect players' time, more instant battles so we can engage in things like Grim Forest in the areas that are more important in the game right now as we, get to the end game and have shown and proven we can master content, but also to eventually extend background battles to PvE, where you can do one-off activities anywhere in the game while you're engaging in a background battle at the same time. The second thing I really want to see in 2026 is champion loadouts. It's not that big of an ask, but in this game, it's really been divided over the years, right? It used to be back in the day. People really only cared about Arena back when I started in 2019. People only really cared about it as a vehicle to get their affinity bonus and their great haul done. That was basically it, right? But now a lot of people care about Arena because they've made a lot of improvements to the meta, to the balance, and to the arena. And, of course, the rewards. Now we have area bonuses. We have really good gear rewards. I don't need to tell you guys all the reasons that we can, play and enjoy and also reap all the rewards from Arena, with the exception of Tag Team that they really need to fix. I mean, we still do it for our faction war keys, but man, they need some work on Tag Team Arena. That's a whole nother video for another day, right? But now that we have so many different ways to play the game, at this point, it feels absolutely absurd that to change my masteries for PvE to PvP and then back to PvE, it costs 150 gems per pop. To me, this is archaic. This is very, very old school gacha hero collectors. Right now, we need customization. We need a way to have a PvE and a PvP build for every champion, which we can have two settings, not just of masteries, but also of blessings. Because to change a blessing, it costs another 200 gems. Nobody is going to want to do that. We're not able to enjoy everything this game has to offer because of these ridiculous gem costs just to customize our champions the way that Raid wants us and intends us to play the game. Listen, like I said in the beginning of the video, credit where credit is due. The free gear removal was amazing, but now there needs to be customization options for your blessing as well as your masteries, and for the love of God, reduce the relic cost to swap them, right? Swapping relics, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I know it's crazy, but just like artifacts, it should be free. You upgrade them, of course you need the basalt and the starstones, but to swap them, I don't like it. To me, it feels just as needlessly, penalizing the creator, making a negative experience just to customize your champions. All we want to do is to be able to customize our champions and the best gear and the best loadout for each area of the game. So the easiest solution is just have two saved loadouts. So loadout 1, loadout 2, or PvE and PvP for each champion, where they're able to have two different options, right? Especially as it pertains, only as it pertains to your blessing and to your masteries. Relics, I think they should just reduce the cost of swapping, but you're not going to have that on your loadout because then a champion would have to feasibly take up the spot of 2 relics on your account. So yeah, customizations for champion builds. It's a no-brainer. And players will love it. They don't even know how much they'll love it, but they'll love it, okay? And the last thing, guys, is one that's been bothering me every day for years and years and years. It's the silent killer in Raid Shadow Legends. What do I mean by silent killer? Well, I'm talking about kill the 3% weak hit. Now, you might right now be like, A, I have no idea what you're talking about, 3% weak hit. Or B, you might be saying, no big deal, Ash, a little RNG, who cares? Well, in Raid Shadow Legends, there is a built-in flat, this is outside of affinities, outside of everything. There is a flat chance, a permanent flat, 3% chance to land a weak hit on every single attack, okay?
Miss one, Dad.
Landing a weak hit also will deny the debuffs, right? Even if you have a neutral or strong affinity matchup. So I say this is a silent killer because most players don't even realize how much energy they're throwing away, how much gear and resources they're throwing away. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you do your auto battles, and most of the time, you might lose a few matches, and you might not even understand why, just blame it on RNG, but it actually is to blame specifically on this layer of RNG. Now, why did they do that? Plarium has gone on record talking about the 3% weak hit that has been built into this game since day one. I don't think it's aged very well personally. Now, they referred to this in their initial posts way back in the day as basically deliberate randomness element in Raid so that runs are never perfectly deterministic, even with capped stats. That's a quote from Plarium way back in the day describing why they have a 3%, right? So for me, listen, clearly they want something to make not everything feel like chalk, right? You perfected something. They want a little bit of variance, right? And listen, there might be something psychological interesting about that. I tend to disagree because I never notice when I get weak hits. I just notice at the end of the day when I have less resources to show for it, right? But personally, I think that at the very least, they should add something in game that players can get to mitigate the 3% weak hits, right? There's so many different mechanisms that they could add this to, but for me, like, that's something they could do feasibly that would give us a little bit of control, maybe allow us to have to unlock an achievement or unlock some sort of an object on our account. Thus, we can get rid of that 3%, right? And when I say it out loud, I feel like they should just drop it. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but I don't even mind if they create some sort of mechanism that we have to do to get it removed as a reward, like another area of Great Hall or something. I don't know, but to me it does feel old-fashioned, feels unnecessary just to have fails built in, all for the sake of, randomness, right? So those are my 3 wishes, guys. I don't need to make this video any longer than it's been so far, especially since my voice feels like I'm about to keel over right now. But to recap, number 1, respect players' time. I gave my ideas to how to do that. Number 2, more champion customization. Get rid of those gem costs. Come on, we need some loadouts there. And number 3, get rid of the weak hit. What about you guys? What do you want to see in 2026? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. I got another long one right there. My top choices for legendary champions in every faction of the game. My top 5 choices. It was a fun one. If you have more time to chill and you can listen to me with a real voice, go ahead and do so there. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.